On tonight's show, we have actress and entrepreneur Amajae Hardy-Jones. And now for your host, KoolKard. What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's episode 62, and you are kicking it with KoolKard. I am your host, KoolKard. Yeah, we're back again. I told you, man, every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to bring you somebody on here that's going to bring you some value. We're going to have a good time tonight. I got an actress kicking it with me. Man, I met her on Instagram. All right. Met her on Instagram. I don't even know how I came across her, but we've been supporting each other. Like, she'll DM me and ask me a question. I'll hit her back. I'll ask her a question, so on and so forth. But we just been supporting each other. It's just crazy. We were talking like it's crazy how social media can bring people together and you feel like you know them before you even meet them, you know? And then once you meet them, it's like, hey, what's up? You know, like we've been friends forever, whatever, you know what? But to say that she's a very good person, she's doing a lot of good things. She does community work. She's an actress. She's a host. I'm telling you, man, she's a good burst of energy, and I love it. I'm glad that we finally got to do this. I think I reached out to her a while ago, but we just couldn't align things. But we're both busy, you know. She's doing her own thing. She ain't waiting around on me. So, but I'm very, very thankful, very appreciative that she obliged and was able to do the show. Come and kick it with your boy. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna bring her on in. We're gonna give her a little intro, like how I like to do. And her name is Amajae Hardy-Jones. And you'll be seeing a lot of her. I'm telling you. Yes. Hello, Amajae. How are you doing? And welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing fantastic. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope all is well with you. God bless.
Yes. God bless you. God bless your heart. Girl, you're so kind for coming on the show, kicking it with your boy.
Yeah, I have to, show my support. You've supported me so much and vice versa. Like you said before, we met via Instagram. The power of social media, right? Especially during the times we are in now.
Yes.
But, it's really cool. We were able to, connect with each other, network, and support each other along the way.
Yeah, definitely. And I had to have you on because you're doing great things. You have your own show. We're going to talk about that. So that's even more of like, that's even more impressive to me because you can get people who do, they do their podcasts, they do their shows or whatever, and you do your thing. And it's like, some of them don't want to come on another podcast. Mm-hmm. It's all about their brand, you know what I mean? And you can't fault them for it, but it's cool that you were able to say, hey, you know what? Let me go on here. Let me support him. He supports me, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really appreciate that. So let's jump right in. So you're an actress. I would say you're a host. I'd say you're entrepreneurial minded. Am I correct about all these things? Right?
You are 100% correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. We're going to talk about your acting first. So, and if you don't mind, how old are you?
19.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're young, got your whole life ahead of you, but you're doing great things. You booked a gig. We're going to talk about that. You actually booked 2 gigs recently. We're going to talk about those.
We'll get to it. Don't worry.
We'll get right into that. So let's talk about how you got started. I read that you were doing plays earlier on. So you come from the stage like myself. I was a thespian, and I'm not going to say was. Always a thespian.
Always will be.
Yes, that's where the roots come from. So for you got your start in theater. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, man. I've loved acting ever since the age of 2. I don't care. It's a ridiculous age. I was drawn to a television screen. I would mimic scenes, whether it was the Hammerstein, the Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
All my favorite. That was the movie that sparked my acting career. I lie to you not. And as cheesy as the movie is, which is cute and adorable, I love it. That started my acting career. And like you said, I did start in theater. I did a lot of church plays.
Okay.
From doing church plays to transitioning into a theater camp at the Kimmel Center of Performing Arts in Philadelphia.
Okay.
We're where you have a big stage in front of so many people. It was amazing to be coached by, individuals who were a part of Broadway for music, dance, for acting, being a part of the Kimball Center. They had an amazing youth program called Showstoppers. And I was a part of it from, let's say, 6th grade all the way to my junior year.
Oh, wow.
And it was such an amazing opportunity. We did plays such as Grease Lightning, Aladdin, Phantom of the Opera. We did so many things. The Wiz, of course. But, every musical we did, I fell in love with acting, no matter how many times we did it, how many times I was on stage, whatever role, whether I was an ensemble or a leading lady, it didn't matter to me. As long as I was on a stage and doing what I love, that's what mattered to me the most.
Yeah, man, listen, I grew up, I started out, I think I did my first stage play at like 7, 6 or 7 maybe, I don't know. But for me, and you tell me, for me, being on stage and being in that world, it's almost like being on a playground. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes me away. It's just something magical about it. It's just, I don't know, it's just a different energy that's unmatched. Just like being on set. It's just a different energy. It's like you step into a whole different, like you warp somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
I know exactly what you mean. It's crazy because you can't describe it.
Yeah.
I love how you called it a playground because I never viewed it in that way. However, I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
In those moments, I can't recollect like what happened because I'm so overwhelmed with joy and just
Absolutely.
I'm where I need to be. So sometimes there's a moment where I can't recollect what just happened, but I know I just got on stage and did what I need to do and I headed backstage.
Yeah.
But it's that childlike feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it lives. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, you're a kid. You're using your imagination.
Yeah, and I think you lose yourself in the performance, but it lives in your subconscious though. It does. It really does. Like I'm telling you, there's been many times I stepped off stage and I'm like, I know I enjoyed the moment, but now it's like a blur. But I knew I delivered. I felt like I was in my pocket. You know what I mean? I felt like I was in pocket. I enjoyed it. I had fun. And when you feel like that, you know you delivered.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know you delivered, man. So for you, like, I know for me, like one of my biggest takeaways from theater was like projecting, having that voice, right?
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest takeaways. But then you get to film and they're like, shh, talk like you're like 1 foot away from the person. It's so intimate and it's all about the eyes and so it's an adjustment, So I want to ask you, like for you, when you transitioned from theater to doing film and commercials, what was your biggest hurdle and what was like your biggest takeaway from that was also, it was like a tool for you to be great in film, but also it could be a hurdle for you at the same time, or it could be 2 different things. I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get where you're coming from. Transitioning from theater to film is a very tricky thing. They're 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
I like to play. However, I do have a deeper appreciation for film and television. I like you said, there's an intimacy between 2 actors. There's a camera dead right in front of you. However, you're supposed to relay so many emotions just with a blank face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where the challenge begins. I don't know about you guys. As an actor, I love to be challenged. I love to play roles. This nice demeanor young girl, I would love to play like a superhero, evil villain, bad cop. I don't know, anything. But it's in those moments where you're being challenged, and even though the camera's right in front of you, you have to be able to train yourself enough to channel all your emotions in your lines.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't project too loud because the camera's right there.
Yep.
Voice has to be subtle. You have to explain what you mean without being all whimsical and dramatic. There's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
That's where the love of acting is. It's such a big thing.
That camera doesn't lie. The camera doesn't lie. It picks up on all the little small intricacies. And those are things that count. Like I said, when you're acting, screen acting, TV, it's all about them eyes, man. It's all about them eyes. That's why if you notice, the good ones, they don't blink a lot. You can like sit there and like really look at the good ones. It's like they hardly ever blink because it's all about the eyes.
That's true.
It's all about the eyes. So you don't want the eyes to be distracting, but you also want to be able to live through those eyes and see those emotions and those feelings and what they're thinking through the eyes. It's not all about the movement unless it's an action film. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I'm telling you, man, it's just so like, for me, it was like, coming from theater for me, it was like, okay, just kind of tone it down. Don't be so dramatic. You know what I mean? Because all that dramatic acting, I believe, me personally, is because the viewer is not like right here.
Yeah, they're all out.
Yeah, they're all out. So you have to be big so they can see. But when you got that camera on you, you don't need all that. Now it becomes you're doing too much. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't believe you, you know, type of thing like that. Yeah. So
you said it perfectly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, definitely. So listen, man, I saw that you just got an agent. I know you've been managed. Why, right? So you just got your agent. Like, how did that change things for you? Did things pick up for you? Did you start auditioning more?
You know what's crazy? I actually just got off of a Zoom call from an agent. And, it was a group call. So I was able to hear her insight and what she was talking about. And the one thing that stuck out to me, what she said was, just because you have an agent, that does not mean your whole life is going to change. And I couldn't agree with her more. And when I did receive my agent, as in 2020, a year in which we all went through a pandemic.
Right.
Getting an agent alone was an act of God. I don't care who says it. I was struggling to get an agent for 6 years, been trying my hardest, got one during a pandemic. Okay, God, I know you're in the works. Now, what was amazing, I was actually auditioning for pilots. I was auditioning for series regular roles. I was auditioning for feature films. And it got to the point where I was like, oh God, this is what it's like? Is this it? I'm a little paranoid. Like, they were coming back to back to back. And started getting overwhelming, if I were to be honest. I started to feel and belittle myself. As a Christian, I don't want to belittle myself. I have a God who I serve.
Right.
How dare I belittle myself for the great things that he'll do? But I really started doubting myself. But
let me ask you this. Was it because of the work?
That's the crazy thing. It was just, it got so overwhelming. Like, this is what I hoped and dreamt for.
So it's too much at one time.
It was. But then, I had to reel myself back in, take myself out of that state of worry and just do it. And I was starting to get callbacks. I was starting to get booked. Starting to walk in the path that he, the creator, has created for me.
Yes.
So, always reel yourself out of that state of doubt. It's a dreary place, and that's not where actors need to be.
Let me tell you this. The easiest way to reel yourself out of that is think about all your friends, all the actors, all your peers who haven't had an audition in months. Yeah. That'll take that right away. Because I'm sure you've been there too. So you have to remember those days like, man, where are the auditions? Why can't I get an audition?
Jeez, I went through years not getting an audition.
I'm telling you, listen.
Being born and raised in Philly, they ain't much in film and television. I'll tell you that right now. You got your short films left and right, but you want the real stuff. I was hungry for those series regular pilots to take off and feature films to start coming along to me. However, just reflecting on the journey, I wasn't ready for it yet. To be upfront and blatant.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
a test.
Familiar where I was in, where I'm at in Philly. Yeah. Use what I know here to take with me when, and God, I say when, I moved to LA. And I start booking legit work out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll let you know real quick if you're ready or not. That's for sure. And I'm telling you, I've had an agent for years, and there are spells where I'll go, no auditions, but it doesn't faze me anymore. It doesn't faze me anymore because I've been doing it for so long, you know, and it's like, I know it. I know what it is. Like when I lived in New York, I'll tell you this. When I lived in New York, I had an agent, and I was going on a lot of auditions for films. Like, I'll say this. I don't think I've ever told anybody this too much, but remember the movie Finding Forrester?
Yes.
Sean Connery, the little black kid. I don't even know the guy's name. What's his name? Sean. His name was like Sean something, right? The black.
Yeah, I know Sean. I don't know the last name, but I know what film you're talking about.
Okay, so it was him, myself, and another guy. The last final 3 people, and we all had what it took. Mm-hmm. The book, we all had it, and the casting director told us, like, you guys have basically booked this role, all 3 of you. Now what we're gonna do is have Sean Connery sit down and watch your auditions, and he's gonna decide who he feels he will have the best chemistry with, and he picked that guy. Oh, that right there changed my life. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it changed my life. Because I did have self-doubt before then. Because I wasn't booking. And I didn't even book that. But I'm telling you, listen, this is what it did for me. It let me know I was enough. It let me know that I had what it took to book a major gig like that, of that caliber. I didn't get it, but it wasn't up to me. I had done my work, and it was enough. But Sean Connery felt that he would have better chemistry with that guy. What can you say about that? You can't be mad about that. Like, that was such a confidence booster, because before then, man, I was going to auditions and I would leave and I'd be like, man, I should have did this. I should have did that. Why did I do this? I could have said this better. You're just questioning yourself. You're beating yourself up. You want the gig. You're thirsty. You're desperate. And I'll tell you this too. Casting directors, they know when you're desperate.
They do. It reads through like a like glass. Like, they can see it.
Yes, they can. I'm telling you. And so that changed my life. Like, I stopped caring. I stopped caring about walking into the audition, coming out, and wanting to know whether I'm gonna book it or not. I just started moving on my life, because I used to just wreck my brain. Like, oh my God, I want this, man. I hope they call me. After that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm good enough. I did the work. I'm gonna stop worrying. I'm gonna stop beating myself up. I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna lay it down on the line. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go on with my life. I'm gonna let them interrupt my life if they call me and book me. But I'm not gonna worry about it anymore.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Let it go once you finish auditioning. Let it go.
Let it go.
You will bury yourself in scenarios that are happening in your head, but they're not happening in real life.
Yeah. It's always worse in your head than what it really is. Always.
It is. And oh my gosh, I'm still learning this. I'm not a pro.
Yeah.
I'm doing the work, but I'm not a pro, and I'm still learning these things as we're talking.
Yeah.
You know, not being wrapped up in, oh my God, they didn't like me. They didn't call me back yet. Oh my gosh, they're not going to pick me. No. The reason, you auditioned in front of them, that's enough.
That's enough.
You. Now, whether they pick you or you don't,
has nothing to do with you.
It really doesn't.
Has nothing to do with you. If you go in there and you lay it down on the line, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you made it to the room, they saw something.
They did.
Or they knew of, like, something they saw, or I don't know if they saw you real. I don't know if they just took you had the look and you came in there, but at the end of the day, you were good enough to make it to the room. So just know that if you've done the work, you gotta trust your work. You gotta go in there, you gotta lay it on the line, you have to be carefree. Go in there with confidence but not arrogance, because they pick up on that too. Just go in there and just show them that, hey, you know what? This is the mentality I have right now, because I'm a grown man, right? I'm a grown man. But back in the day when I was a kid and I was doing it, I didn't have too many things, and I wanted that to kind of, propel my life and traject me out, right? But now I'm a grown man. So guess what my mentality is now? When I go in there, I have a life outside of acting, right? I can pay my bills. I can take trips. I can take my family out to dinner. I can whatever, right? So when I go in there, regardless whether I book that or not, that doesn't change anything I got going on outside of that room. When I leave that room, I'm still gonna be able to I'm still gonna be able to pay my bills. I'm still gonna be able to take my trips. I'm still gonna be able to provide for my family. It doesn't matter. Yes, if I book it, it could propel me into a whole nother atmosphere or whatever, or stratosphere in that career, or even a tax bracket or whatever, you know, but that's what I do it for. But what I'm saying to you is, it doesn't make a difference on my life if you book me or not at that moment. So I'm not gonna worry about it, because guess what? When I walk out that door, I'm still living my life. I'm still happy. I can still go take my trips. I can still go enjoy my family. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I agree with you 100%. I mean, that really comes down to your why. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Are you doing it for approval? Are you doing it because your family's forcing you? Are you doing it because it's your bread, your reason for paying off those bills?
Right.
And that's why, as a creative, it's so important to have other, you know, sources of creativity to surround yourself with. You know, I would die if all I did was acting, because I will constantly wrap myself in worry all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I created different things. I created my own content. I created a platform for myself in which inspires people instead of actors worrying all the time. But I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute. I don't want to spill too much.
Yeah. We're going to get into that. But I will say this. You're exactly right, though. Because I learned from a good friend of mine. His name is Deja Ashwood. Phenomenal actor, phenomenal guy. He does so much. Film director, everything. He's a writer. He does everything. Trust me. Shout out to Deja Ashwood if you're watching. I'm telling you, listen, I learned this from him. Let an audition interrupt you. Let a booking interrupt you. You cannot sit around waiting on these people to call you, because if you know that you went in there and did the work, it's not on you anymore. You could be too dark. You could be too short. Your left eye could be too closed. You know what I'm saying? You could be shorter than the girl. They don't like that half the time. You were too skinny. You were too big. Who knows why they didn't book you? But it's not on you. You did the work. So now go outside and create you a show like you're doing, like I have. Do other things, and let a booking or let an audition interrupt your life.
Facts.
And
I don't got much to say to that.
I'm telling you. And they pick up on that too. Like when you walk into that room and it's like, I'm going to give you what I got. I did the work. I'm not going to bring you trash. I'm going to give you what I got. And it is what it is. They pick up on that confidence, and they know. And they'll book you because of that. They'll book you. They'll book you because they know, hey, guess what? I guarantee you, this guy, when he comes to set, he's going to be professional. He's not going to be a groupie to the bigger name actors.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He's probably he's gonna do the work. He's gonna be professional. He's probably gonna keep to himself. He's gonna be polite, and he's gonna be confident in his work, and he's gonna deliver. They'll book you because of that.
Yeah, you don't want to book the role. You want to book the room, guys. Book
Absolutely.
The room.
Preach, girl. You're preaching. You're spitting right now.
Guys, don't care about the role. As much as we keep saying it, don't dread on it.
Yeah.
Save yourself so much doubt and worry. Just keep doing you. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly. But let's talk about you booking, because you booked the movie.
I did.
You booked the movie. Let's talk about it. So you booked Fels High, right?
Yes, Fels High.
Fels High, starring Omari Hardwick, Elise Neal. What's the guy? Marc
John Jefferies, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. John Jefferies.
So tell us about this process. How was the audition? How was being on set? Did you work with any of them? Were you in any scenes with those actors? What takeaways did you get? I'm giving you a bunch of questions. I want you to just run them back to me. So how was the experience of just being on set? And I know, like you said, you've been doing it for 6 years, but you just got your agent and you just started really, really going hard at the auditioning, and you booked this film, a featured film. Like, give us that experience.
Oh Lord, this story is unreal every time I come back to it and think about it. Guys, when I say it is about networking, it is about networking. So this film was shot in Philadelphia. Luckily, I'm born and raised here. And the opportunity was presented to me as, they were looking for background actors. So I was just like, all right, I need to be creative again. I need to do acting again. I need to submerge myself into something. So I submitted my headshot and resume. I'm like, here, background work. Hopefully I'll get a call back or something for background. And I got a email back from a good friend of mine who was the casting director.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know he was the casting director for this film. He was like, okay, you want to do background? Okay. So he submitted my information to the director of the film, Kevin J. Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we want to book her for a role.
Wow.
I'm sitting there in absolute shock. Like, sir, I submitted for background. I wasn't expecting a legit role. So the casting director calls me and is like, yeah, they want to give you the role of Cola. And I'm just like, don't play with me. Because
wow.
to be a background actor. And they was like, no, they want you to be a character, your actual character. You have 2 scenes, 3 scenes. They want you in 2 weeks. Can you do it? Right then and there, I said, yes.
Yes.
I will do it.
Of course, without thought. Whatever else you got going on, you'll figure it out.
Exactly. So, of course, I had to do a COVID test. Of course, they sent me the script. And I fell in love with Cola, the character. She's a total opposite of who I am, which is super, super cool.
Yeah.
Playing the opposite of me, the sweet demeanor person, to a rough, tough, do what I say type of person.
Yeah.
And, playing a character like her, it was mind-blowing. Being on set was mind-blowing. The actors there, it's a film based off of a Philly high school.
Okay.
And I don't want to give too much away. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But, a lot of the actors around me were, 20, 25. I was I believe I was like the youngest actor there, being 19. Mm. But everyone there was so professional. The amount of professionalism there was unmatched. They were so supportive of me, Of course, I had to knock out the scene in one good take. They were like, oh, okay, let's just do 2 more for safety. Let's go.
That's what's up.
It was cool hearing from the director saying, thank you so much for being a part. It was cool, just being surrounded by those people, being able to be in the film with Elise Neal, Marc John Jefferies, Omari Hardwick, just to be in their presence.
Yeah.
Having my name attached to that film and pouring myself into it as, the crew and cast poured themselves into the film as well. But it's a crazy story, and it blows my mind every time I speak on it, when I reflect on it, because it just proves that in a matter of time, no matter where you are, no matter what happens, things will come in alignment sooner than later, and connections always grow. Honestly, I didn't audition, guys. I didn't audition at all. He looked at my demo reel, my headshot, and my resume. It was like, yes.
Wow.
And
I'm telling you, man.
Like that.
That just says so much, man. Anybody watching this who's acting and who's going through some things, they're not booking or they're not getting these auditions, like that right there should just give you a boost of courage, like a boost of something to let you know that. And
just to remind y'all, this was
possible
during quarantine. This was filmed during quarantine.
Right.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they shot this film.
Wow.
In 2 weeks. Omari Hardwick in and let him do his X, Y, and Z films and say his lines and do his role, and flew him back and rap.
Wow.
The amount of professionalism that was there was just unmatched.
That is
so I knew I had to, come with my A game. I knew that for sure.
Yes. And you delivered. And they're going to remember you. That director's going to remember you.
Oh, they already... It's so funny because a good someone on set just followed me on Instagram and everything, and just DM'd me saying like, yo, you killed it on set, like you did so good. And he used #OneTakeJones, and I literally started dying. It was so nice to hear words of encouragement like that. It lets you know that you're doing the right thing, you're doing this because you love it, and people recognize professionalism. Especially when your heart and soul is into it. They recognize professionalism.
Yeah. So my question is, how did that change you? So like I was telling you, like with the whole Finding Forrester for me, I didn't book it, but it changed me. How did it change you? It had to have changed you. You're just getting into the game. I mean, you've been doing it for 6 years, but on this major level right here, you're just getting into the game. You just got your agent. How did it change you? What did it do to you as a person? Like, internalize that. Maybe you haven't even really internalized it, but maybe this question will make you internalize it and bring it out of you. Like, what did it do for you? It had to do something for you.
It made me feel grateful. It proved to me yet again that God has my back. Sorry, I'm speaking a lot about God. I don't know.
No, we talk about God on this show.
Okay.
We talk about God on this show, girl. I pray every day, all day, and talk about God all the time. God gets the glory on here, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, just saying. There's a God who has my back. He has this journey for me. He has the journey for you. He has the journey for viewers. He proved to me that I can give you a role in a feature film during a pandemic. It will shoot quick. You will have X, Y, and Z lines. They will remember you. You will keep going.
And not even have to audition. Don't leave that out.
Have to audition.
Who does that?
Exactly.
Who does that?
That much trust. You know, that much trust to play a role with so many notable names in it.
Yes.
You know, it humbles me to a certain extent. Because in all honesty, I'm hesitant in talking about things I book. Even though I posted on Instagram, I'm kind of like, all right, I got to toss my phone away because I can't focus on all the comments. I can't do that. Yeah. But it gives me a sense of humbleness. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. And it makes me want to go harder, regardless of how many years it will take. I don't care if it takes 15, 20 years until I book another feature film. Like, that's how bad I want it. Yeah. This is how much I want it. And, you know, I don't see a different career path for me other than this. So
it's going to be yours. It's yours. It's yours already. It's yours already. You just have to do it enough. I'm telling you. So many people, this is what people got to understand too. People look at things or these obstacles in their lives, right? And they do have self-doubt because they see so many before them that have failed. But then they also see examples of success. But why is there more stories about failure than success? And the only thing that separates them is either, I'll say one or two things. Maybe it just wasn't for you. God didn't really have that for you. You were chasing something. It really wasn't for you. You might have had a little talent in it, but it really wasn't for you, so it didn't pan out. Or they just simply gave up. You simply quit before God was ready for you to have it. You simply quit. It's one or two things. Because if you do it enough, I'm telling you, whatever you define success as is what you define success. But you will have some success in that field if you just do it enough. You may not ever be on a big blockbuster film, but I guarantee you'll either make it to Netflix, you'll be on Amazon Prime, you'll be on Hulu, you'll be on network TV. You're gonna do something. But can you see success in that? Because I see success in that. There's people that never book anything. Ask them, is that success? Ask them, would they die to have that opportunity? So it's just all about the repetition. If you really, really dedicate yourself and really do the work. See, there's a lot of people out here lying to themselves too. Because they'll talk about they grind all day, they don't sleep, they work so hard, but they really don't do any of that. They really don't do enough. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's something in you. And it's nobody but God speaking to you. But there's something in you that's going to let you know if you're doing enough or not. You know if you're lying to yourself. You know if you're really working as hard as you say you're working. You know that. And you can fool others by putting pics on the gram and doing whatever you want to do. But only you, when you lay down at night, you really know if you laid it out on the line every single day or not. You know. And can you be proud of that? And if you can't, you're probably one of the ones that give up eventually because you're just not willing to do the work.
Yeah. Guys,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't give up. Keep going.
Can't give up. You can't give up. Now, what about this voiceover work you just booked too?
Yeah, guys, I'm a voiceover actor now.
Great. You getting that work.
Yeah, I know, but God, like I can't explain it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Voiceover I did on Actors Access. If any of you guys are unfamiliar with it, it's an amazing platform for actors to book work, anywhere. They have demographics of where you can, audition for, regions, all that type of jazz. They got you. Invest in it. It's a good investment.
It is.
But my manager was like, hey, just audition for this. I want to see, if you can dabble with voiceover. And I was just like, okay, I'll try it. My first time ever doing a voiceover audition for BuzzFeed. And, I submitted it in. I didn't hear anything back for a month. So I was just like, all right, didn't book it. Let's just keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, I received an email from a casting director. I'm just like, okay. Good sign. Saying, hey, we noticed that you sent an audition for this voiceover in particular. However, we saw you more fit for this project that we have coming up in March. We would love to book you.
That's how it goes.
Audition. They wanted to book me right then and there. And I'm sitting here to myself like, God, I have no training with voiceover. Why would you send this to me? Without even questioning, I accepted the role. I informed my manager and my agent, like, hey, guess who's a voiceover actor? And, I told my whole family. They were thrilled. They were shocked. And, yeah, casting directors, they remember you if you do a good job. They pick you for the role right then and there, but they keep you in mind.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, she ain't fit this part, but let's put her over here. Let's save her for later. And then and there, it happened.
Absolutely. I'm starting to see a trend. What's up? You're not auditioning and you're getting all this work.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but I know it's in God's will. Even though it's a bit intimidating, you just know it's God, because you ain't gonna tell me to audition. You don't want me to audition one more time just to make sure.
Right.
They're just like, nah, we want to book you right then and there. And that's a humbling experience again. That's a blessing in disguise again.
Yeah, God has his hand on you. He does. It's coming. It's coming. Whatever you desire in the field of acting, it's coming for you. Just know that. Just know that. You said something though about these casting directors, and I want to speak on that. For anybody watching that's acting, these casting directors, they really do remember you. So it's good to know how to audition professionally. See, auditioning is an art. You could be the best actor in the world, but if you don't know how to audition, you'll never make it to set. And that's true, because I know a lot of great actors, even myself. I don't always book, right? And there's some things that I know that I could get better at in the auditioning room. You know what I'm saying? To start booking more. I know these things, and those are the things I'm going to work on as an actor and as a man. And I can be truthful with myself. I'm always transparent with myself. So there's things, you know what I mean? Like, even though I have all this knowledge, sometimes you can step into that room and you really do lose yourself. And you're like, you know what? I didn't hit all the marks that I know I should have hit. That could be critical for you, right? So what I'm saying is, with these casting directors, they remember you. And if they see good work, they will request you and request you and request you. Why? Because don't forget, they have a job to do. And
they do.
They have a job to do, and they want to keep that job. They want these directors to keep coming back to them to cast their films, because they can entrust in them that they're going to bring me good talent to you. Now, if this casting director always brings talent to the table, the director's not going to keep coming back to that casting director to cast his films. So the casting director's going to go, you know what? I got Amajae. I got Eric. I can count on them. They know the people that they can count on to bring good work.
They do.
Regardless if they're going to book it or not, they can be satisfied and confident in knowing that you will come into the room, you're going to be professional, you're going to bring your A game, you're going to lay it on the line. The director, he may say you're a fit or he may not, but what he can't say is that you didn't bring it, you weren't good. So this is the thing, man. You have to make these directors and these casting directors see that you can solve their problem, because their problem is trying to find the right person to play the role, to bring that character to life. Can you solve that problem for them? And sometimes it's yes, but you still don't book it. Yes.
I like the way you think of it.
Yes.
The problem solver. Like, I don't think a lot of actors realize we audition to solve their problem. To say the least. You know, they need us, not to sound cocky, but they need us more than we need them. Yeah. Not to say it in a cocky manner. But, you know, they want to see you succeed. And I think that's what most actors forget. And that's where, you know, fear comes in. Like, oh, did I do good? They appreciate you auditioning.
Yeah. You know, they're rooting for you.
Yep.
They're rooting for you. They want you to be like, they want you to come into that room and they're like, oh man, give it to me. Please give it to me. Please give it to me. Don't come in here like the average actor and give me what the last 50 people did. They wrote, they did exactly what was on the paper. They read the slag lines and they did exactly what those said. Like, paint your own picture, solve their problem and give them art. You have to give them a whole new palette. You have to give them something that they might be like, you know what? I didn't see that character like that, but I like what he just did.
Right.
Do that again. Wait, hold on. Let me see you do that again. Right? I'm telling you, that's how it goes. But I'm telling you, listen, you can solve a problem, but you still may not book the job. Why? Because somebody else can solve that problem too, and they may fit that role just a little bit more than you, and they'll go with that person. But I'm telling you, if you know that you are doing the work, you're getting those hours in of study, which is classes in our field, and you're doing the work, just trust the process, man. It's coming. It's coming.
It is. And, you know, that whole flavor of what you can bring to the table, how can you paint your canvas, you know, for individuals who are watching, they're curious, what can I bring to the table? Bring yourself.
Yes.
Only one you.
Yes.
You have a way you view the world. You have a way in which you may view a particular role. Bring that to them. And you might blow them away. Yes. You might be the one saying, well, you might make the casting director say, I ain't view it like that, but Jesus, all right.
Right. Exactly.
That's how they remember you.
Because you got to understand, when they give you those sides, that's what they envision, right? That's what they envision. But they're not telling you, you have to be that. They want you to be you, but just bring you into that life that they have in their mind, and then boom, you have a character.
Yeah, because you have so many people who are, you know, there's so many roles in the film and movie industry. You got the writers who have their own depiction of the character. You have the director with his own envision of the character. Then you got the actor.
Yes.
Who has their own envision of the character.
Yes.
Your job as the actor is to take the character description, whatever they give you, take what is on the side, so what the writers typed out. It is your job as an actor. It sounds intimidating, but it's actually a lot of fun.
It is.
Create that in human form, breathe life into the lines. You know, it's a real fun and creative process, but it takes a lot of work and dedication.
Oh man, listen. From a cerebral standpoint, it's tiring.
It is. Yes.
Oh my God. Your mind could be so exhausted after an audition or just trying to figure out choices. Because it's not like we make it sound easy, like just be yourself and all that, but it's really not that easy. It really isn't, but it is at the same time. Because yes, you want to be yourself, but you still gotta do the job. You still gotta make choices. You really have to break down that script and see what the writers are intending in the scene. And you want to give them that but then you also want to give them you, and you also want to give them something they didn't think about. You want to give them something they didn't see, but it still has to be relevant to the scene. And then that's when the magic happens, because now you're not like the last 50 people that came into the room. Now you're Eric, you're Amajae, bringing something different that they've never seen before.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So point of this conversation is, don't be the average actor, because I'm telling you, the average actor is going to read the script. They're going to read the slag lines. Which you know what I mean, understand what I'm saying about the slag lines, the instruction lines. Eric walks into the bar, sits down, throws a 20 on the bar and says, give me a drink. That type of the slag lines. So don't read it line for line. Don't take it for face value. You have to dig, because sometimes there's code in those lines. Like, you have to know what they intend. It's not all face value, but you gotta discover. You gotta make discoveries. You gotta bring it to life, and then show them something. Show them you, and then show them something that they didn't intend.
Precisely. Yeah.
That's when the magic happens.
I agree with Eric. 10%. Yes, everything he said. It's the truth, guys.
Yes, the truth. Absolutely. So I'm a fan of your show. Aspire to Inspire.
Yeah.
And your show is a lot like mine, but it's not, because you focus on industry professionals, and you're bringing value to the end user. You're also celebrating the guest, right? Giving them their roses. Just talk about your show.
Oh man. Aspire to Inspire, my baby. For viewers watching, Aspire to Inspire is an interview platform created to highlight industry professionals. Man, what a blessing this idea that I had to create Aspire to Inspire has been. The idea came up from, I was listening to a live with William Catlett. He stars on so many shows. His most recent is CW Black Lightning.
Okay.
He was on a live, and he was talking about, what do you have to offer to the world if acting was taken away from you? What else do you have that represents who you are and what you do, and how you want others to see you, to view you?
Yeah.
And I got really emotional after that, because I want to represent good. I want to inspire people. And, with that in mind, I was like, okay, inspire. A lot of people come up to me and say, you're inspiring. You inspire me, Maj. You do this, you do that. I can't wait to see you do great things.
Yeah.
And I sat with myself for a while. I remember I was just writing and just being like, all right, can I do? And I've been told a lot. I have a great speaking voice. It's the way I carry myself, and it can be told in the way I talk, even though I'm mumbling my words right now. But, just the way you present yourself. It's a great demeanor. People like that.
Yes.
So I took that into thought. Then I took, we're in a pandemic. How can I reach out to various people with this idea of mine? And then, prayer and just writing, it came to me, Aspire to Inspire. And I was so anxious in getting my first guest. It was so scary, because I'm like, I ain't like these professionals. They booking work. I ain't even really scratched the surface yet. So I'm sitting here like, all right, God, who do you want me to interview? And, I'm going back on shows I'm watching, and I'm just like, him, her.
Right.
That kid. And it's so funny, because it originally started as a Instagram Lives, but it's currently transitioned because I wanted a more professional-based platform.
Yeah.
So I will never forget this. I reached out to Christopher Emmanuel. Shout out to him. He's a very sweet soul. He has a very old soul. And I met him through a workshop at my acting classes via Zoom. He was a guest speaker. And I was just like, he's the first one. I'm going to ask him. So Christopher Emmanuel, he plays TC in Black Lightning on CW. And, you know, I watched Black Lightning. I seen his work. He's legit, very, a very profound actor at such a young age. And I remember just sent that DM like, "Hi, Christopher. I'm kind of starting this new virtual platform, and I really want to inspire other actors, especially during a pandemic. I just feel as though positivity needs to be put into our world at this moment. Would you like to be a part? Yes or no? Send."
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was just like, okay, now I'm just waiting for a response. I lie to you not, like 5 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah."
Oh, wow.
Sure. Okay, sure. I told him a date. I told him a time. We did it. It was my first IG Live with Aspire to Inspire. I was able to ask him about his journey, how he got from theater to being TC on Black Lightning.
Yeah.
And after that live was over, I knew exactly what I needed to do next. Like this turned into something bigger than whatever I thought Aspire to Inspire would be.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a blessing because right after Chris came, someone else came, Johnny Carr. He's actually, he stars in the new movie that came out, Judas and the Black Messiah. He's in that film. I don't know the role he plays, but he's one of the I wouldn't say lead. He's one of the characters in it. Oh. And it was just amazing because I interviewed him in May?
Wow.
And he grew so much within that time span from when I met him to what he's doing now. And that's why I create Aspire to Inspire, to hear stories like theirs.
Yeah.
You know, I've also interviewed Daisha Nelson, who stars in Netflix Holiday Rush, a cute Christmas movie. So cute. I also interviewed Raven Farrell, who stars in Lifetime movie Stolen by My Mother. I've also had the opportunity of interviewing so many people from Disney Channel, Travis Wolf Jr., and it just started rolling in. And
yeah,
I don't like saying all this and spitting out a bunch of names from people who are from X, Y, and Z shows just to brag. No, these people were like coming.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I just knew this is what I needed to do. Yeah. And this is what I was put on this earth to do. But yeah, I blabbered all the way through that. But that's because I'm energetic and I'm really, really passionate about it.
Listen, when it's for you, and he's gonna make it for you. He's going to make it for you. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So true.
That's so it. True. He's gonna make room for you, and that's what's happening. Yeah. That's what's happening. Because who do you know is going to book all of these people who are on television from jump? Right? From jump. Like it's just rolling in for you.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I say this because I want to inspire people with my story. I don't want to just brag to y'all about what I do. No. I want you to take what I say and just let it be known that you can do this too. You can create your own podcast. Like we are literally in the times where we need to create our own things. I don't care. I don't care what it may be. Short film, do it.
Right.
You know, Malcolm and Marie, I don't know why this popped into my head. That was a short film with a crew of 22 people. Like I heard Zendaya's story and heard her talk about this, and it was a crew of 22 people.
Yeah, in one location, right? They shot that whole thing inside the house.
Yeah, and it's such a great film. I'm not even gonna talk about that, but yeah, it's we're in a time where we need to create our own stuff. It is so important that we do it now.
Yeah, and the tools are there, and it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. You know, like
you're really serious about it, you're willing to invest in it if it doesn't take much. If you need to buy that extra light, do it.
Right.
You need to buy a suitable backdrop, do it.
Do it.
You know, it's to invest in you. And, you know, whatever you invest in, God will reap it and sow it and give it back to you, you know?
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to cut to a clip of you in action.
Oh, no. Okay.
Here we go. Yes. In action.
She was speaking facts. Sorry.
Speaking facts. Lord Jesus, she was speaking facts. That's why I took that clip right there.
Yeah.
People need to hear that.
Yeah, the person you guys just watched, that's Jada Benjamin. I can't even list all of her credits. She's that good. She's appeared on Disney Channel so many of times, and she has that young face. However, she's like 20 above, and she's, still being considered for those type of roles, the young, energetic high schooler type of roles. I can't even list all of her her credits because she's still going. She's been doing this for a very long time, and I loved hearing her story because although she's been involved in so much, she's still going because she sees herself as a leader, and she sees herself as, a person who's going to star along the greats like Denzel. She really wants to work with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I heard it.
Individuals like Viola Davis and those greats. We want to be so much, and it was just inspiring hearing her story and just hearing that little snippet that made my whole day.
Yeah, that was powerful right there because like you said, she's done a lot of work. She's doing the work, but she's letting you know just to get a guest star appearance, it takes a lot. People have to trust you with that. And I was talking to, like I mentioned my good friend Dejour. He was saying the same thing. He was like, man, I've been doing all these day player roles, and then finally I get a reoccurring role. And he was like, but you have to. He's like, what I found out when I went on set and I spoke to some people, they were telling me like, these casting directors and these directors really have to know that they can trust you with that role. And once you get that, now guess what? Another door opens up. Now they know you can do it. You go on set, you deliver, they know you can do it. Now they're going to start requesting you for all these reoccurring roles. And that's what's happening with him now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just takes time. And it's a numbers game. It really takes time. Like I was telling you about the casting director out here, George Pierre. Like, he keeps requesting me right now. He keeps requesting me. I haven't booked anything with him, but he keeps requesting me. That lets me know that he believes in my work. That lets me know that he has confidence in my work, that he knows that I'm going to present something that a director can say, okay, I can respect that. It may not be, what I want right now, or it doesn't fit, or whatever it may be, but he knows I'm going to bring my A game. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to deliver some good work. You know what I mean? So it's a numbers game.
It is.
Don't give up the good fight.
Yeah. Don't give up. Please don't. Please. Just consistency. I can't stress this enough.
Yeah.
It's consistency and getting in their faces so many of times that they're going to have to trust you eventually.
Yeah.
The casting director is going to have to trust you.
Absolutely. Real quick before we get out of here, let's tell us a little bit about like your community work. I know you're.
Oh yeah. Honestly, the secret of life, guys, is being of service to other people. I can't stress this enough. I can't be where I am without serving others. I really can't.
Yes.
So, I am a part of a wonderful nonprofit called Philly Youth. It's basically a nonprofit organization that fights against the stigmas of African American young boys and girls based in Philadelphia. Not gonna lie, generally, kids born and raised in Philadelphia, already just stating that, may have some type of bad connotation or some bad reputation just because they're born and raised from Philadelphia. That is not always the case. I think this nonprofit, it truly is amazing. It's a fundraiser. We do fundraisers. We actually just did a recent fundraiser for t-shirts, and it says, I make Philadelphia a better place. And, we were able to give back to people. We do annual back to school drives. However, we weren't able to do one this year. I was so upset. But due to COVID, but we are having one in 2021. That's exciting. I know we also do trips, international trips to Belize. I know next year, so not 2021, but 2022, hopefully, or even 2023, we are planning on going to Costa Rica. Now, if you guys are interested in being a part of Philly Youth, whether you want to be a member, want to be involved in things that we are doing, follow us at Philly_youth. You can also search us up online, www.phillyyouth.com. Yeah, if you guys want to learn more, all of our stats and news and updates are up there. It's an amazing nonprofit. I'm super glad to be a part. It's, I'm glad to be a part of it. My aunt's the founder of it, so props to her, Monique Hill. She's fantastic. This came out of her heart. This is her tribute or her attribution to the world. She wants to take action and stand against the stereotypes, people have in Philadelphia. But she's doing the right thing, and I'm just really glad she considered me to be a part and be a member of this nonprofit organization.
Yeah, she's doing God's work. Everybody has something to do for God, and that's her work. That's God's work.
It is.
And you as well, by being a part of it.
Thank you.
Because you want to give back, you want to help people, so you want to pour into people, and you're doing that. So I really commend you on what you're doing. I commend you on the breakthroughs that you've had.
Thank you.
And the many more that you're gonna have. So just keep going. Like I said, fight the good fight. Trust the process. The things that you've accomplished already, I'm pretty sure that those can be some good stepping stones, building blocks, and confidence boosters. So whenever things aren't going the way you want them to go, just always think back to these times when you did book. Think back to the times when you have these talks with people like myself. You know what I mean? And it's so liberating that to just hear it. Like, you already know these things, but just to hear it and be in conversation. Like right now, we're in church. This is the gospel. 2 or more people. You know what I mean? So think back to these times to let that propel you, to let that lift you up, to lift your spirits, and just keep going. Because at the end of the day, if you just keep going, tomorrow could be the day that you could get everything you want. Not to say that you aren't having breakthroughs and successes, but wherever you want to go, wherever your pinnacle is and your platform, or where you want to be, it's coming. It's there for you. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I want my TV show. I want either a Steve Harvey talk show type of thing, or I want a late night talk show. And that's why I dress my show up the way I have, because I'm presenting it on what it's going to be.
Yeah. So As you should.
It might be episode 1000. I get that call. Hey, you ever think about bringing that to TV? You know what I mean? Or whatever. I don't know. It could be episode 1000. It could be episode 63 tomorrow, next week. You just never know, but you got to keep going.
Yeah, so that's very true.
You keep going. God bless you. Love what you're doing. I'll always support. You know that. Been supporting before we even had this opportunity, right? So
yeah, before we could even meet each other.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't have happened during the pandemic. To support me and through social media. That says a lot. It does.
Definitely. You're an inspiration. So keep doing your show for sure. Keep doing that, and just keep being you.
Thank you so much.
And before we go, oh no, no doubt, had to have you. It's a blessing for real, and I appreciate you coming on and lending me your time. So tell everybody where they can find you. They can check you out.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. Follow me on Instagram at Amajae Hardy-Jones. No spaces, no hyphens, just Amajae Hardy-Jones across all social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, it's just Amajae Hardy. But, a lot of my content is on Instagram and YouTube as well. Everything across the board, Amajae Hardy-Jones. You can find me there. I'm pretty active. You guys can follow me along my journey. This has been a beautiful journey. Don't like to call acting a career. It's more of a journey.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm very excited to, be on this platform, just supporting people. It's really what life's all about, lending an ear and lending service to other people. So I look forward to followers. You guys can follow me on my journey or not. I'm not pressuring you. But
right.
I really appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. And hopefully, you found some inspiration and some, something inspiring to take away.
Yes. So everybody, listen, go out there, follow Amajae. Don't just go spying on her. See what she's doing. If you're going to go look at her profile, you might as well click the follow.
Might as well. Follow me.
Yeah. If you go check out her YouTube, you might as well hit that subscribe. Speaking of subscribe, if you found some value in this show tonight, there is that subscribe button. No pressure, but no. Yes, but seriously though, if you guys find value in this, you want to continue getting the value that I bring on this show from people and good guests like Amajae, hit the subscribe button so you can continue getting this. That's it, you know. And tell a friend, share it, tell a friend, and come back again. I'm here every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube Live. Kicking it with KoolKard. All right, you guys. Thanks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Amajae for coming on the show and lending her time. We had a great conversation. We kicked it. Yes, we did. All right. Until next time, y'all, we are out. Peace and love. Amajae, can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Peace.